Okay. Okay. Good morning. Good Monday morning. Welcome to, what is it, June 14th? Is that right? Hold on, let me look. No, June 15th. We have officially hit the middle of the month. Congratulations to everybody here. Wow. And this begins our 8th week in a row of a daily live training. Woohoo! So welcome to today's training, and we're happy to have you here. My name is Brian Williams, and my company, Real Appointments, well, it's kind of like it sounds. We get appointments for our clients. We work with business-to-business service organizations in the finance and technology and consulting and marketing space, and we get them guaranteed appointments, and we teach every morning for 15 or 20 minutes a technique that you can use in your business to also get appointments for you. So that's why you're here. I'm going to introduce my co-host first. His name is Ronan Rahman, and there he is.
Hey, Brian. Happy Monday.
It is. It's a full week.
It's a full week, and the promise of tremendous productivity this week is before us. So I'm excited.
Wow. I'm excited about tremendous productivity because I know that I could use a lot of that. So,
all right. Well, I know a guy that can help.
But yeah.
Aside from that, though, today is market to message match, which always gets me tongue-tied. But it is my favorite topic because what it does for people is it really clarifies for them who it is and what it is that they're looking for into a headline that grabs people's attention. And this is like the most foundational conversation that we have the whole week. Everything that we do the rest of the week builds on this. And if you don't get this squared away, the rest of it is not as effective. So with that, just want to remind everybody that we are live. Click down below, and do a message, ask a question, whatever it is, we're happy to answer. And if you're coming back if you're on the recording, we'll circle back and answer that way. So anyway, I'm going to leave you to it, Brian. Have fun.
Fantastic. Hey, yeah. And the more you comment, the better the content. The more you comment, the more I will share with you. So hi, Helen. Nice to see you here. Okay. So let's get right into it. Market to message match. As Ronan just indicated, this is a foundational piece to your appointment setting, which is what we're talking about. It's also a foundational piece for all of your marketing and communication, whether it's social media, email, websites, sales pages, postcards in the mail. This piece that we're going to talk about, if you get this right, all of your marketing and all of your communication is going to be more effective. How much more effective really depends on how well you get this dialed in. So the more practice you have with this, the better you'll get at it. So what are we talking about when we say a market to message match? It's very simple concept, yet it's not so simple to get it right. And that's why we're having this conversation for you today. So quite simply, your market, the first part, is who. Who is it that you want to consume your information, and in the case of getting an appointment, have that appointment with, right? So start to visualize right now, who is it? Who, if you could have your choice of anyone in the world to have that appointment with, that's your market. The message, quite simply, as it says, is what you're going to say, what you're going to communicate to that person, your market. And your message can come in a variety of different formats, right? Today, it can come in social media posts. It can be a video. It can be an email message. It can be a letter in the mail. It can be a request to connect with somebody on LinkedIn, which is a lot of what we do in our business. So your message can come in all kinds of different formats, and even a paid advertisement, right? So that's why this market to message match is so crucial, and why we invest a lot of time working on it in our business and for our clients. So with that, I'm going to share with you a bit of a formula that's going to help you hone in on this market to message match that we're talking about. And I'm just going to pull that formula up right now. This slide that you're seeing that says Get Ultra Specific comes from a workshop that we host from time to time. And If you would like to get on the waiting list for the next time we will be hosting our live guaranteed sales appointments workshop, Ronan's going to put a link up for you. I believe it's guaranteedappointmentslive.com, if I'm not mistaken. It's a new link. It's going to take you to just a simple form to fill out, and that'll just get you on our waiting list for the next time we host our entire training. But before that, let me explain how this formula works. It's pretty simple to fill this out. And as I go through this, I encourage you to write down answers to these questions I'm about to ask you. And the first question is, I want you to visualize what industry that you want to generate appointments within. Okay, industries are things like automotive is an industry, technology is an industry, health and wellness is an industry, entertainment is an industry, travel is an industry, right? So those are big ideas, right? Has lots of components to them. So write down just one industry that you would like to have some appointments with. The next thing I want you to write down is, now this is where we're going to get a little bit more specific. I want you to write down the market segment within that big industry that you just wrote down that you want to play in. So if you were to pick, let's say, finance as your industry, you might choose a market segment like accounting, or you might choose a market segment like life insurance, or I don't know, there's all wealth management, or real estate investments. Okay, could be potentially a segment within finance, even though that also could be a segment within real estate, right? So pick an industry, or pick a market segment, just one. And the more specific you get with that market segment, the better this will work for you. Now, once you've had your market segment, I want you to think of the person, the individual within that market segment that you want to meet with, that you want to literally have a conversation with, hopefully about what you do, because that's why we're in business, right? We're in business to exchange our services and products for money. So imagine a room full of the people that you want to have those conversations with. And that's why we want you to specifically identify your person, your ideal prospect. And you can do this a number of different ways. You can do it by job title. So office manager, vice president of marketing, president, director of sales, right? You can do it by job title, and maybe there's multiple job titles that fit who you want to meet with. And that's usually the best way to do it. So let's say your market segment is, I don't know, private insurance agencies. The person might be the owner, or it could be the office manager, or it could be the insurance agent, right? There's lots of different people that make up the kinds of people that might work inside of, a private insurance agency. And so that's your person. And that now you've kind of gotten the idea of defining your market, right? That's what we mean by the market part. Now, this now pivots a bit into your message when we talk about reason and pain point. The most powerful message that you can deliver to the person that you want to have an appointment with is a message that convinces them or creates curiosity within them about some problem that you can solve, some solution that you have that very specifically addresses a conversation that's going on in their mind. And the conversation that I like to enter into the mind of our ideal prospects is a conversation that they might be frustrated with. They might be thinking, oh my gosh, if I could just solve this problem, or if I could just avoid having to do fill in the blank. If there was someone out there that could fix that for me or take that off my plate for me, I am curious and I want to have that conversation. I want to learn more. And so that's what we mean by the reason and pain point. And I will tell you, it's not always easy or obvious to figure that out. We often will actually have conversations ahead of time with the people who we want to have appointments with and ask them questions like, what are you frustrated with? If there was one thing that you do or have to do that you would rather not do, what would that be? And if it's something we can solve for them, perfect, right? It's doing some research, right? And so we will oftentimes invest days, weeks, even months honing in on this particular market to message idea before we get it perfect. Now, it doesn't have to take that long, but I will tell you this. If your messages, if your marketing isn't working at the performance that you expect, it is probably because your market to message match content is not on point. It's probably because of that. 99% of the time, it's because of that. And so let me show you an example. I'm going to flip the screen to here. This is a client of ours LinkedIn profile page. His name is Joe Kennemore. And one of his businesses is in the business of doing live, large productions and events, okay, with video and staging and lighting and pyrotechnics and all this kind of cool stuff. And so here is how this market to message match formula that we just went through can manifest itself into a headline that will attract to you the people who you want to have appointments with. So I'll read Joe's for you. It says, stress-free live events and video production for the most prestigious technology companies in the world. I'm going to break this down for you just a little bit. We started in his case with the pain point, the problem, the frustration that his market has, which is stress. Okay. It's stressful putting on live events of any size, especially big ones that have maybe thousands or tens of thousands of people attending. So he calls that out right away, stress-free. And then he calls out what he does, live events and video production. So now I know what he does. I know the problem he solves. And I also know the who for the most prestigious technology companies in the world. So we've basically taken that market to message match formula, massaged it, and crafted a very specific and powerful headline that when his ideal prospect sees this, they're going to want to connect with Joe. They're going to want to have a further conversation. And that's how this works. And we can use that same headline as an email subject line, at the headline of a Facebook ad, in a direct mail piece that we send out to people that are in his market. That's where this thing can show up, and many, 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 many other places. The idea here is attracting the right people. Now, one thing that I know a lot of you are thinking, because we all do, is, well, I don't just serve the most prestigious technology companies in the world, in Joe's case. I also serve the most prestigious healthcare companies in the world, and fitness companies in the world, and marketing companies in the world. And those are all other markets that Joe also serves. So guess what? We change it. While we're running a campaign for technology companies, this is what we go with. When we switch and start running a campaign for the fitness industry, we change the headline a little bit to speak to those people. And it's not that difficult. So don't get stuck in your head that this is a permanent, written in stone, can never change kind of a thing. You can change this as you run different marketing and communication campaigns. So I invite you once again to get on our waiting list for the next live training that we're going to do. The next live training that we're going to do will probably be a combination of an in-person event. Wow, we can actually meet in person again, as well as a live stream. And you can get on our waiting list by just simply going to guaranteedappointmentslive.com. You're going to see a form. It's just for us to get your contact information. It looks like this. Fill it out. It'll take you just a minute, and we will get you on our waiting list so that you get the announcements as to when we're going to be doing that. It's been we've conducted this training dozens of times, and we love hearing the results that people are getting by following the training that we're doing. And I'm going to come back to full screen if I can find my full screen. Where are we? There we are. And just kind of bring Ronan on and see if there's anything else my co-host would like to add to this conversation. I like your shirt, by the way. What does that say? Vegas strong. All right. You're muted, I think. It's possible. There we go.
I have dogs behind me, and I just got to make sure they don't bark during the broadcast.
Who let the dog out?
I would. So, no, I thought that, you covered everything because, like you said at the end there, most people feel very constrained because they feel like they're too narrow, and it is just for a period of time. So once you can get over that, that was a hard thing for me to do. But having run, different campaigns, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Because what it allows you to do is get really super specific about the message and really hone in on who you're looking to and speak to them directly almost. Like you can have a much tighter conversation with them rather than speaking in broad generalities that apply to everybody and don't inspire anyone. So I think that that's another reason what I've discovered in being focused is that the messaging also gets very focused and it's much more relevant to the person you're talking to. Then you pivot and you just do something else. So it's
It
all
helps you.
good.
It helps you cut through the noise, right? I mean, we've all
Yeah.
experienced where we're scrolling through Facebook or we're scrolling through our emails, hitting the delete key, and then something grabs our attention, right?
Mhm.
For some reason, it's probably because you're the person that they want to have a conversation with. You're the person that's meant to take that pause. And that's what you want. You want to cut through all the noise. And one of the easiest ways and the most effective ways to do that is to get this market to message match communication dialed in. It really is.
And when you know who that market is and you're very clear about it, it actually gets easier, I think.
Really easier.
It gets really easy because you don't have to please everyone. You have to please someone, and then you just move to another demographic. So I thought that was a really good point. And I know that that's when we talk to people, that's an area that they are really freaked out about in the beginning. And then it's like, relax, this is how it's going to work. It's like, okay, I got it. So
right.
Anyway, nice job.
Okay,
I think we're getting the hang of this.
I've done it a couple times now.
Yeah, you're almost like an internet celebrity now.
Oh, I don't know about that. So just give me the money. I don't want the fame.
That's right. There's got to be a union for web live streamers that you can at least get paid scale.
That's what we need, a union for internet marketers.
I think I'm onto something. Anyway, tomorrow we are talking about the 3-point power profile. So it's the parts of your profile that you upgrade and elevate and improve and polish that makes the difference between someone connecting with you and someone going, maybe not. So,
I will, before we jump here, Eugene, one of our friends here in Las Vegas, actually just posted this question, and I will answer that. So he's asking, are we changing or rotating the link in the headline? I'm going to guess a little bit about what you're asking here, Eugene. So what we're doing when we run a campaign to generate appointments, what we're doing is we might take a 60-day time period where we want to have as many conversations as possible with a particular type of person, right? Like, let's say one of the campaigns that we run often are getting appointments with CPAs, right, for our business. And so we'll run that campaign for 60 days, totally honed in on communicating with CPAs. And then when tax season rolls around, we'll pivot and we will then change our headline and as well change our marketing and change our list, if you will, to go to speak to, let's say, IT service providers or marketing agencies, right? We might do that campaign for 60 days. And so we're literally changing the whole campaign. So it's not about changing the link. It is about, though, updating your profile and your headline and things like that. Just a slight adjustment so that when the people who we're wanting to communicate with during that campaign, they see us, it makes that connection. So it's a little bit of a strategy to make those pivots. Mm-hmm. We can talk about that offline, Eugene, but it's been very, very effective for us and our clients.
Excellent. All right. I think he's got it.
He says he's got it. All right, Eugene. Good to hear from you.
I love it. This is the way TV should be. I don't like that ending. Do the other one. Anyway,
right.
I'm joking. It's morning. Let's have fun, right? Go out and have fun today. Get something done. Come back tomorrow, 9:30. We're going to talk about the 3-point power profile, and then we'll continue this conversation.
Sounds good.
You'll be back, Brian?
I'm sorry, say what?
You'll be back?
I'll be back tomorrow, yes.
All right, so will I. All right, see you, everybody.